Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back once again to your chemistry online class. In my last lecture, I had taken up the classification of oxides, in which I had told you about the acidic oxides. I've told you that the oxides of elements can be classified as acidic, basic, amphoteric and neutral oxides. So this is the classification, in which the metallic oxides generally constitute are of two types, that is the basic oxides and amphoteric, and non-metallic ones include the acidic oxides and neutral oxides. So these are the examples of the acidic oxides that we had done. CO2, SO2 non-metallic oxides are the acidic oxides, and these non-metallic oxides or non-metal oxide dissolve in water to give you an acid. Is that clear? And I had told you about the various oxides, and they dissolve in base to give salt and water. Then today we will proceed on with the basic oxides. So basic oxides are metallic oxides, and I have told you in the table that I have shown this now in the chart, that is metallic oxide can be basic or amphoteric, and most of the metallic oxides or metal oxides are basic in nature. Thus they are called as the basic oxides. They dissolve in water to give different bases. Is that clear? So what is a base? First you should know this, that what is a base. So for the acidic oxide, I had told you that non-metal oxide dissolve in water to give an acid. For instance, I had told you that carbon dioxide dissolves in water to give you carbonic acid. Yes. Similarly, what is an acid? What is any substance which when dissolved into the water produces hydrogen ions? Then it is an acid. Similarly, I have told you just now that metallic or metal oxide dissolve in water to give a base. Now you have different metal, you have sodium, potassium, calcium and so on. You have the full reactivity series you have studied. Then if suppose you have the oxide is Na2O, this is a metal oxide. Is that clear? With water it gives what? It will give you a base. What is a base? Having these hydroxide ions. Any substance which when dissolved in the water gives you or produces hydroxide ions. Is it clear? This is a base. These react with acids to produce salts and water only. This we have discussed earlier in the neutralization reaction as well. So this, for instance, it is a basic oxide, magnesium oxide, a metal oxide. This reacts with an acid to give you salt and water. Is that clear? Metals are insoluble in water, and they are metal, basically metal only, MgO, Na2, calcium oxide, these are all basic oxides, and they are insoluble in water and they are solid at room temperature. Only the exception is sodium oxide and potassium oxide, which dissolve in water. Is it clear? Besides this, we have different reactions. You can see in the book that magnesium oxide dissolves in water. Now this is the example. It dissolves in acid to give you salt and water. But before that, any basic oxide dissolve in water to give you a base. This I had shown you just now. Similarly, with potassium oxide, calcium oxide and so on. And this calcium oxide or these basic oxide react with different acids to form salt and water. This I have shown you by this equation in the yellow box. Is that clear? Now we can perform an activity to show the basic nature of metallic oxides. Now we take a magnesium ribbon, a piece of sandpaper and a Bunsen burner, watch glass, a matchbox, a boiling tube, petri dish. Then we prepare the magnesium oxide as we have mentioned in activity 1, as we have done that when we were preparing magnesium oxide, and you transfer the substance obtained after heating in a boiling tube. See how we have obtained this. In activity 1, we have burned the magnesium ribbon. Now it burns with a dazzling white light, and this is the characteristic of the magnesium when it reacts with oxygen to burn with a dazzling white light. And when it burns, the product formed is a white ash, which you can collect in the petri dish, and this is magnesium oxide. And then we add a little amount of water in the boiling in the petri dish, and then we mix it exactly as this has been done directly in the petri dish. Then what do? Magnesium oxide dissolves in water partially to become magnesium hydroxide solution. All of it has not dissolved. Now magnesium hydroxide turns red litmus paper blue. Now this is red litmus paper blue, and no color change has been seen in the blue litmus paper. So oxides or metals are basic in nature. They dissolve in water, ion react with water and form hydroxide ion, which make the solution basic. If you have seen and understood the activity, and we can say the bases that dissolve in water are called alkalis. Is that clear? All alkalis, that is the bases that dissolve in water, for instance potassium oxide and sodium oxide dissolve in water, they are called alkalis. All alkalis are bases, but it is not necessary that all bases are alkalis, because all bases, I have told you earlier, that they are not soluble in water. Potassium and sodium oxide dissolve in water, so these form the alkalis as well. Then the next type of oxide, that is the amphoteric oxide. Now oxides of some metals, for example zinc, aluminium, lead, these can react with both acids as well as bases to produce salt and water. While you have seen in the case of basic oxide that they react with acids to give you salt and water, while in the case of the acidic oxide you have seen that these acidic oxide react with base to form salt and water. So it's both the ways. So here they can react with, amphoteric oxides can react with both acids as well as bases to produce salt and water. So such example has been given. You can see this is a metal oxide and it reacts with acid, hydrochloric acid, and a base, sodium hydroxide, to give you salt. Here this is a different salt and this is a different salt, depending upon which acid and which base have been used. Is that clear? So here aluminum oxide is acting as a base, and here aluminum oxide is acting as an acid. Is that clear? So both the products are salt and water. So when an amphoteric oxide reacts with the base, it acts as an acid, and when it reacts with an acid, it acts as a base. In both these reactions they form salt and water, as the example you have seen. So the other examples also you can see. Now you can see over here the examples that are given in your book, that is zinc oxide acting both as an acid and a base. Here zinc oxide is acting as an acid, and here it is acting as a base, reacting with a base over here and with an acid to give you salt and water. Similarly lead oxide reacting with a base and acid, acting in both as acid and base and reacting together to form salt and water. Similarly with aluminum oxide also, acting both as an acid and a base and reacting with a base and an acid to give you salt and water. Is it clear? So amphoteric oxides, they are the oxides of metals which can react with both acids as well as base to produce salt as well as water. Is it clear? Then the fourth type of oxide, that is the neutral oxide. So these oxides do not react with acid or bases. These oxides are neutral, that is not showing any reaction with acid or base. And the examples are carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, N2O, NO, CO. These are all neutral in nature and they are insoluble in water. Is that clear? So please revise the chapter. Now I had left one exercise on page number 71. Please come back to that exercise. So take the correct option. Reaction of iron with sulfur is a type of, yes, it is a type of combination reaction. Lead nitrate decomposes on heating to form, yes, lead carbonate and sulfur dioxide. No, it is oxygen and nitrogen dioxide both. Then please proceed on page number 71. Now in reactivity series, metal are arranged in increasing order of the reactivity, in decreasing order of the reactivity, randomly without any order of a reactivity, or both B and C. It is in a decreasing order of the reactivity. Yes or no? Then when iron nail is dropped in copper sulfate solution, blue color of solution changes to green, black does not change or changes to colorless. It changes to green because of the reaction with iron now and becomes iron sulfate. The chemical reaction in which a base reacts with an acid to produce salt and water is called, yes, it is called a neutralization reaction. In a basic solution, phenolphthalein shows what color? In a basic solution, phenolphthalein shows a pink color. I have shown the activity to you. It shows a pink color, this one. Read the following hints and name the type of reaction. Two or more substances combine to form a single substance. It is the combination reaction. Please complete it on your own. A compound breaks up to form two or more simpler substances. It is, yes, it is decomposition. I am not writing the whole word. Then more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal from its compound. It is displacement reaction. Two compounds in the aqueous solution exchange their ions to form new compounds. Yes, it is called double displacement reaction. Then two compounds in the aqueous solution react to form a precipitate as one of the products. It is a precipitation reaction. Is it clear? Please revise and try doing more exercises based on this. Turn over the page and move on to page number 74. On heating, metal carbonates decompose to produce carbon dioxide. Okay. Then on heating, metal nitrate and metal sulfates separately produce the respective metal oxide, oxygen along with, yes, sulfur and nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, nitrogen and carbon dioxide, both B and C. It is nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide respectively. Then most of the metal oxides are basic. Is that clear? They are basic in nature. I have just told you oxides that can react with both acids as well as bases to produce salt and water are called as amphoteric oxide. Is it clear? Which of the following is an amphoteric oxide? Aluminium oxide, nitrous oxide, sodium oxide and calcium oxide. It is aluminium oxide I have just discussed with you. The non-metal oxide that do not react with acids or bases are, yes, they are neutral. Which of the following is a neutral oxide? Yes, it is nitric oxide. Not carbon dioxide, but it is carbon monoxide. Is it clear? Next is complete the following. It is you can see these reactions on page number 74. ZNO plus 2NO 2NOH gives you Na2ZnO2. So in the first box it will be Na2ZnO2, that is sodium zincate. Is that clear? Next one, PbO plus 2HCl gives you PbCl2 plus H2O. PbCl2 plus H2O. This is the second one. Next one is ZnO plus blank gives you ZnCl2 plus H2O, that is an acid 2HCl. Is it clear? Next, Na2O plus H2O gives you 2NaOH. Please revise the chapter properly. Then let's quickly revise what all we have done in this chapter. So I started with the chapter, that is what are chemical changes, that is the process in which substances undergo chemical change to form a new substance. Those are known as chemical changes. And how are these chemical changes possible? And because it involves transformation of one or more substances into new substances with entirely different properties, is called a chemical reaction. Is that clear? So what happens in a chemical reaction is that the attractive forces, or during the chemical reaction, the bonds or the attractive forces which are between the atoms of the compound, they tend to break, and the rearrangement of atoms and formation of new bonds takes place to make the new substances. Is it clear? Next is, now you have seen the reaction that is there is, for instance, the reaction, any reaction can be taken as a very simple reaction. C plus O2 gives you CO2. Now carbon and oxygen are called as the reactants, while that is the substance that take part in a chemical reaction are called reactants, and the new substances that are formed as a result of a chemical reaction are called as the products. In this case it is carbon dioxide. So carbon and oxygen are the reactant and carbon dioxide is the product. Is it clear? Next is, when does a chemical reaction take place? What are the conditions which are needed to be fulfilled by a chemical reaction? First is the close contact. So when a reaction takes place only when the reactants come in close contact with each other or are mixed together. Is that clear? So they they should have a close contact with each other. Next, some chemical reaction take place only when the reactants are mixed in solution form. So they should be in solution form only. Is that clear? For the reaction to take place. Next is the presence of light. Light is essential in certain reaction and they are called as photochemical reaction. For instance, the photosynthesis reaction, which takes place in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll only, otherwise it will not take place. Then fourth condition is the supply of heat. And some reactions, chemical reaction, take place only when the reactants are heated. For example, the reaction of iron and sulfur takes place in the presence of heat only. Then certain reactions are called as electrochemical reaction because they take place when electricity is passed through them. For example, the decomposition of water, when it has to break up into its constituent, that is hydrogen and oxygen, it will take place in the presence of electricity only, or when electricity is passed through water. Next condition is pressure. When a certain amount of pressure is applied, then only the reaction will take place, and example of the reaction is the Haber's process, which I have told you earlier also, that is the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen to give you ammonia. Is it clear? And one more condition is there, that is the presence of catalyst. Catalyst is what? It is a chemical substance that changes the rate of a reaction without itself undergoing any chemical change. catalyst can be positive or it can be negative. The positive catalyst increases the rate of a chemical reaction and a negative catalyst decreases the rate of a chemical reaction. Now, what are the characteristics of these chemical reactions? That is, they show change in color, which I had shown you the example of copper carbonate. When copper carbonate is heated, now this is green in color. When it is heated, it forms a black residue or black compound, that is CuO, that is cupric oxide, and carbon dioxide gas is released. Similarly, there are other reactions also. Next characteristic is evolution of a gas. So, chemical reactions, gases are evolved as one of the products. A very simple equation is, that is, when zinc reacts with H2SO4, what is the product? That is zinc sulfate and H2, and it is shown by an upward arrow. Is it clear? Similarly, there is formation of precipitate as in the reaction when ferrous sulfate and sodium hydroxide, they react together, they form a dull green precipitate, that is ferrous hydroxide, and sodium sulfate is formed. Then there can be a change of state. For example, two gases as hydrogen and oxygen, they react together to form a liquid, that is, from gaseous form they are changing into a liquid form and forming water. Then another characteristic is change in temperature, and this on this basis there are two types of chemical reaction, that is exothermic and endothermic. Exothermic, a chemical reaction with heat is evolved. For example, the reaction between carbon and oxygen forming carbon dioxide. You burn you burn coal or you burn coke or any fuel, that is a source of carbon, and when it burns it reacts with oxygen and forms carbon dioxide and heat, exothermic. And certain reactions are endothermic. For example, when nitrogen is heated at 3000 degrees Celsius, it combines with oxygen to form nitric oxide. So, heating a particular thing, that means it is absorbing some amount of heat, that is known as endothermic. Then change of smell. For example, the reaction between iron sulfide and hydrochloric acid gives you FeCl2 and H2S, and H2S has a characteristic smell of rotten eggs. Is that clear? So, you can easily make out. Then the types of reaction are there. Types of reaction, which can be combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement. What is combination reaction? A reaction which two or more substances combine to form a single substance is called a combination reaction. So, there are various examples that you have done. For example, carbon and oxygen gives you CO2, and then this carbon dioxide or water gives you carbonic acid, and so on. Then second type is decomposition reaction, a reaction in which compound, which is a reactant, it breaks up into two or more simpler substances, which are known as the products. Now, example is mercuric oxide breaks up into mercury and oxygen, or calcium carbonate, when heated it breaks up into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas is released. Third type is displacement reaction, that is a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element from its compound. This is called displacement reaction. For example, the reaction between iron and copper sulfate, when iron tends to take or displace copper from copper sulfate and forms ferrous sulfate and copper. Many such reactions are there. I told you about the reactivity series, that is the series in which there is arrangement of metals in a series in descending order of their reactivity. Exactly. So, potassium is the most reactive and platinum is the least reactive, decreasing order of their reactivity, and hydrogen is also placed in between, and although it is not a metal, it is included because it also loses electron, that is, it is electropositive in nature. In most of the reaction it has a positive charge. Is it clear? Then we have the double displacement reaction. a chemical reaction which two compounds in the aqueous solution exchange the ions to form new compound is called a double displacement reaction, in which we have done precipitation reaction and neutralization reaction. And precipitation reaction is which a chemical reaction which two compounds in their aqueous solution react to form an insoluble salt as one of the products. Is that clear? And neutralization reaction, a chemical reaction which a base reacts with an acid to produce salt and water, is called a neutralization reactions. So, apart from this, we have done, in order to determine whether a particular substance is acidic or basic, we have indicators, that is special substances that show characteristic colors in acidic and basic solutions. So, this is the type of reaction, and then we had done the various the classification of oxide, which I have revised today also. So, please revise the whole chapter, and I will give you the exercises, solution of the exercise on the next term, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.